The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show 938 Tuesdays. We've been talking about professionalized wrestling, and it is the holiday edition. And
Jingle,
everybody's
jingle.
here. I was hoping for a yay or something. A little bit. Yay! Happy holidays! We got the tree. We got a train under the tree. We got all kinds of goodies here. We have lots of friends hanging out with us. And already they had their warm up podcast before this for the main event. So, but thank you so let's go down the line. First of all, I'm going to go the opposite way this time. First of all, there is us here as usual, but in person.
This isn't my house.
This is not your house. No, it's not your house. Whose house is this?
My ears aren't covered in sweat.
No?
That's good.
There's no Hulk Hogan. You can't
There's no
throw.
Hulk Hogan,
You can't
WrestleMania.
throw Bradley getting getting a wedgie behind you. Don't tempt you. And Dave Ponder is with us as well.
Yep, also live and in person.
Not in the chat room.
No.
Yes. What do you got there? Are you holding up? Hold on a second. Wait. There we go. There we go. Oh, there it is.
You did this, Sorg.
There it is.
This is your fault.
Wait, it's you. But it's
your
you.
fault.
It's a reception.
This is your fault.
That's your fault.
This is not Bradley's fault. This is not my fault. This is Sorg's fault.
Okay, whatever. And we also have Eamon and Merlin from Again is NB right here on this network. One of our sister. How do I gender your podcast? Is it a sister podcast?
Yes,
Are you our
fine.
sisters?
Sure.
Is it sisters or sisters?
No,
Sisters.
I don't know. Okay. Thank you. I was baiting you for a snap. No, but it's good to have you back on here. We haven't traumatized you. I remember your first appearance on here in person as a duo. I believe involved lap dances and barbed wire.
Yeah, not the
Yeah,
best.
that would
Yeah.
be the STD for
The
2 years ago.
STD Christmas special, and I think we got a run-in happening here. We just started the show. Who goes there?
It's like a holiday.
Who goes? It's like you never know who's gonna pull up. It's just oh my god, it's a neon ninja. We got a seat right in the middle here. There you go. You're gonna have to share the mic with them though. There you go. We got some movements going on here while we have a last minute run in on this. So fresh
That's the
off
slowest
of
run-in though I've ever seen.
the slow. he's been moving a lot, So the Facade is with us. Get. I don't know how we're gonna get you close to that mic over there.
I'm here.
There you go.
Facade with the very festive pants.
I like this. The T-Rex palm. Is those palm trees?
I was gonna say it looks like weed.
Mount Fuji. Okay, that's interesting. That's it, and absolutely on brand.
Danny Mo gift from Walmart like 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, Danny Mo gift from Walmart. We're going to adjust something over there in a moment, I think.
Maybe I'll talk louder.
There you go. Talk into the microphone. Get close to it.
I don't have a big boy voice, but I'll use it today.
Dude, get that wrestling promo voice, So. Yeah, brother. Okay. No, not that one. No, that one's taken. Yeah. Anyways, I got 2 items for today. What did we learn in 2024 from wrestling? I think you're gonna have a good one over there, I'm sure. And then our predictions. Well, first we're gonna do the shame segment. After that, where we find out if we were right or wrong about our predictions for 2024, and then we're going to do our predictions for 2025 in professional wrestling. And again, you guys in the chat room, we want you guys to chime in as well for your what you learned and predictions as we go here. We'll intersperse them throughout the show, and we're going to have some fun here. And this is the show. Now, this is not the STD special where I get blackout drunk, but there is a little bit of alcohol flowing through the studio this evening.
Remember.
What's that? Yeah, you remember. Of course you remember that one. Were you present for that one?
I was at, I don't know if I think I left after.
You might have left after. You're just like, this is too crazy for me.
Well,
Yeah.
I was just
Because I mean, forgive me for not remembering. Because there's not much.
20-minute ales, right?
That was my wife just feeding me tequilas because she wanted it to end quicker. Yeah. No, that was a different one.
The Flexer 120-minute ales is the one.
Okay, that was a different drunk year. Yes, that was kind of the last last one. So, anyways, let's see. I'm gonna mute your mic. If you can move that kind of between you a little bit, between either you go this way or you go this way for a share. I think it might be easier, Eamon, for you to pull yours over. We're live studio moves here. I'm going to mute both of the couch microphones while you guys adjust there. Kind of put it kind of in front of you. You can. I don't know if you can lower it. I don't think it goes any lower. And then just lean into that. Talking to the type in it. Talking to the tips. Okay.
Is it supposed to be plugged into something?
What is that? Oh, that's for headphones. Don't worry about that cord. Don't worry about that cord. No, we don't have. That's why everybody's in the studio. That's why I said no Zooms tonight. So, anyways,
So there is no Zoom site?
no Zooms. I don't know. It's open. Some people might pop in. I'll try to do something with the TV so you can hear them and stuff. But what?
I've been requested to get the Zoom code.
You were requested to get them. If we can try to get them in, we'll see what happens. But we're going to be very selective about how we address that. So. Anyways, so let's get started. What did we learn in wrestling in 2024? Who would like to go first? Everybody's been warned about the questions. I know. Everybody has been briefed on this in the pre-show slacks and everything. Oh, I gotta unmute yours. The couch
You
is
have
still
to
muted.
unmute me.
The couch is still muted. There you go.
no.
Merlin of Again is Envy.
All right, can you hear me? Is it still muted? I can't hear myself with the headphones.
Yeah, I
but-
got you. Don't worry about the headphones.
Okay.
Don't worry about the headphones.
So I think it's that the fan base of wrestling will make anything gay if you let them. Like we turned so many things queer this year in wrestling. Like we had bisexual Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
We had the whole Rhea Ripley
As a concept.
right, has always been
just
pretty queer. But then, like, this face-off between her and Liv Morgan, Dominic might as well not have been
Listen-
there because
listen,
there was
man.
sexual tension there.
Listen, man, Rhea Ripley is the thing that brings couples together because both can say, I would. You know.
I think that let it happen. Just let it happen.
I mean,
Let it happen
There's-
and let us enjoy the inherent queerness that is in wrestling.
Listen, there was an item about how TikTok was responsible for the growth of discovering bisexuality. I think Rhea Ripley's number 2. Okay, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Rhea
definitely.
Ripley is like the three. Like she has more than two. She has more than just one.
What?
She has more than one spot on that list.
I would say she's the second behind TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, she's number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah,
and
she-
8.
Okay,
she's the
okay.
entire list.
And
Okay, there you go.
then after that is Damian Priest. And
But,
then,
like-
and yeah, there it is.
Like even if you look at what's happened this past month or so,
Mm-hmm.
we had a gay Kane.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
we had the entire rainbow of Kane.
Oh, yes.
That's one thing we've learned. There can never be too many Canes.
Lean in. There can't never be too many canes.
And even if you get a cease and desist, there's going to pop up, likely, possibly the same character or not, or just maybe a different color.
You kill one Kane and 3 more appear in his place.
Still more.
It's like Power Rangers.
The
It's like
Kane
you've got a whole team of them, just different colors.
I love it.
Purple Cane.
Where's that?
Oh, there goes our takedown. Okay, so that's what you learned. Facade, what did you learn? Follow that one up.
I think that's a pretty big contribution, the Cane thing. No.
You've had an adventurous year. You've been on the JC.
In the Facebook chat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Your significant other.
Oh.
Yes, the other neon blonde is hanging out.
Why you not let me see Billa knowing you wouldn't be home?
Oh, we got problems.
We should just leave now.
Oh, it's just. Riz has walked away.
You'll have that, I guess.
So seriously, what did you learn from this year? You've had some interesting adventures.
So, like, it seems like wrestling can be used as a magnet of sorts because we've seen now that WWE and other companies have continued to build multi-tiered and multi-day events, and then everyone will continue to grow and flourish because of that. Coupling that with the WWE ID program is something like that the indies are really going to flourish from all of this kind of overflow, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean they're really kind of what Triple H was talking about, how like it was kind of akin to they did the college athletes program,
NIL
right?
Program, yeah.
Yeah, the NIL play, and basically this is a version of that. And there's like this is for the people not going through that pathway,
Yeah.
and are out there doing their thing and give them some guidance. I think I think that's good. I'm trying to, I'm always iffy about it, because now I'm seeing, because of course I saw my first somebody's on a show, and there's always this TNA logo if they were on there or something for a second, and now it's like the WID logo is like on wrestling posters now, which I wonder if they're going to be allowed to do that for much longer. So honestly, but it's like, hey, this is a WWE stamped guy or whatever, right? Like that's got to help them with that, and I'm sure those people are getting more bookings now, right? At that point. So, it's an interesting program. But I don't know. Anybody else got any thoughts on that?
My only concern is seing what they did to British wrestling with the NXT.
What are you talking about? Everything was perfectly fine.
So allegedly, what happened to British wrestling?
Well, as far as I understand, basically when they hired a bunch of people who were independent wrestlers in Britain for the UK brand, they said, okay, you can't wrestle anywhere else, which they're not doing now. As we saw, help me out here. She was she was surprised by Tatum Paxley in her trunk.
Valkyra. Yes.
Yeah, who was flying back home to wrestle in an indie show. So they're letting them do indie shows at least now.
Yeah.
But because they sucked up so much of the talent in England when they started NXT UK, a lot of the British indie scene just died off.
Well, I think, and that's a matter. It's a smaller. It's a
smaller
smaller base, It's like going into. You went into Massachusetts and signed all the good wrestlers.
Right.
Now what do you do? I think that's akin to that. Okay, Massachusetts maybe not size right, but the idea, right? But I don't know if you can take, because I feel like anytime you have a mass of there was AEW scooped up a bunch of the top indie stars that weren't getting looks from WWE, and then people just filled in. I'm not worried about WWE signing up top indie talent, because there's always going to be somebody's going to take the opportunity to fill in on that, right? And you'll have a new crop of them in a couple of years that have figured it out. So, I think it creates more opportunities for everybody, and then guide some people that are on the cusp of it.
One small thing where it kind of wrestling parallels drag. Again, it's a very similar thing.
These are the insights we have you here for.
Where it parallels drag, when your local drag queens go and compete on shows like RuPaul's Drag Race, their booking fee goes up, just like with indie wrestlers who, would become a part of this program, right? They now have the WWE stamp of approval. They are cool, but they're still working indies, right? That over time does tend to squeeze out the people who are not part of that program. So your indie wrestlers or your local drag queens who are not part of that have a harder time getting booked, are getting booked on a lower level card, or not getting paid as much. And it can, I'm not saying that it will, but it can cause that problem as well. So I would hope that there would be some sort of way to balance that out so that the indies can still flourish, because we know when the indies die, the industry dies. We need the indies to really bolster the television product. It's part of the same ecosystem.
I think you're right to a certain point there, but I think more likely what will happen, everybody with the WID logo will want some extra fees that some promotions simply can't afford, which will again move people up a ladder, fill in gaps. Either way, I think this creates opportunities across the board.
Absolutely.
So,
And my thing is in that same vein, in that same thing you mentioned, Sorg, they get the bigger purse, but also what if they if they have that WWE logo on them, wouldn't they want to have the belts? Wouldn't they want to have the higher status of being the champion of that company? And they can leverage that by saying, hey, I'm part of the WWE now, so therefore.
So Riz is all for the politicking of this situation. I see.
I'm not all for it.
I see this.
I am not all. I am not all for it. Okay.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
I was gonna say.
So, but no, it's going to be interesting to see kind of how this goes. It's great because it's, I think there's been, talking to a lot of people that have gotten looks from WWE and seem like the people that they would sign. Like we've seen people like, why, they look like they're ready made. They look like chiseled out WWE format. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why don't they get signed, right? And then.
Case in point, I had a match with Brad Baylor at PPW, and he's a younger guy, and he's from up in the Northeast, New Hampshire. I think it's Mike Hollow's training camp that got picked up for the WFA up there in Connecticut, actually, not New Hampshire. But I had worked with him, and I'm like, I think that you'd be. This is 2 weeks into the WWE ID program. I'm like, I think you'd be like great for that thing. You know what I mean? Because he's got a good build. He was a tall kid.
Yeah.
And he worked great, and he can just do things on the fly. Wouldn't you know, the next weekend, him and his tag team partner were announced at the, I'm not sure where, but their local company they were at. They both got brought in.
But again, like, you kind of have that stamp, right? Instead of waiting around, well, hey, not ready for you to come up to NXT now, it was like, hey, we like you. Like, we're putting our stamp on you. Hang tight. Keep learning. Because I mean, we've seen that before. Like, I remember hearing things with like, when JR was talent person, right? Talent. It was like literally like, hey, listen, like, we're gonna let you go for now. Go out in the indies. Like, that's if there's somebody that they actually see value in, and it's just not the right time. Go on the indies. Like Drew is a perfect example. Left. Rebuilt himself, got better on his own, came back, and he's a megastar, right? Now you get to do that without leaving them completely flail in the wind, and also I think that's a trust of WWE in the indies as a unofficial system. They're like, there's good stuff. Obviously, they put a stamp of approval on certain schools. You notice commonality between those schools, by the way. Booker T, Seth Rollins, or at least like another one that was highly. The one that I didn't recognize, they were Evolve guys, I think. I think it was like a New York one, if I'm not mistaken. What's that?
Catch Point, maybe?
Maybe it was Catch Point, or like
that might have been
that initial
Tracy
list.
Williams and Drew Gulak, maybe?
I don't think it was Gulak.
No, it wasn't Gulak. There were names I didn't recognize, and I looked them up, and one I know had connections with Evolve. So. Either way, they're in, Gabe knows them or whatever, they're in the cycle with that. So they're not picking the local Pittsburgh school, like I don't think I really don't see them ever doing that, or the Cleveland school, unless there's literally like somebody that they know and trust is training these kids, which means they know that they're getting trained the right way, at least their way, right? With a mind for you are going to the Fed. Right, and which is different. I mean, Facade. You can speak to that. You've seen so many trainers in schools, and it's a different. I know people get trained here in Pittsburgh, go somewhere else for kind of the finishing they need to know how to get on TV.
Absolutely, because you'll see that's why a lot of times there's those camps and things like that, furthering your training and like the seminars and camps that are like 2 or 3 days, things like that. Ring of Honor used to have them too back when. A lot of times, back in the day, they would tell you to go to the best school you could, but a lot of times people wouldn't afford it, so they would just, I wouldn't say settle, but they would go to the one that was most affordable to them in their local area. And then, in hopes after they could start getting the wheels moving, then get a further training and things like that. So it's cool to see that there's like those all-inclusive ones now, like some of those ones that you would hear back in the day, like, what was it, Iron Mike Sharps, was at one of the schools, and then the original Monster Factory, where like Triple H and those guys came out of. So stuff like that, reintroduced, it gives people a focal point to try to go towards. And hopefully, I mean, I think those places are financially helped also to better their curriculum and all their training facilities by the WWE, I assume, right?
Yeah, I don't know. This could be just an in-name only kind of situation for all we know. I mean, it's still like I know I happen to be able to see briefly the Seth Rollins school out there in Iowa, and like he's got like it says Performance Center on the side and all that kind of stuff. Like I don't know, maybe he just gets it because he's Seth Rollins, or whatever. But and this is way before this. This is a couple years ago. So yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if they get. I think they just get the boost in the you know, in the prestige of it, right? And also that does help because it, you know, generally it's like not everybody can just like, okay, I'll go to the Dudley Boys School. You know, that makes sense. They've been there, you know, but there's only so many of those that are out there. There's so many, or, you know, Ricardo Rodriguez's school, or Booker T, or Seth Rollins' school, right? Not everybody can get there, right? But if there's like, oh, but there's this one here, yeah, it is like, is Monster Factory in the program? I don't think they are, right? No. I'm surprised, honestly, considering how much they've gotten from it. And you know, maybe the second wave they'll announce them. You know, maybe they. I mean, the first list is obvious. Nightmare Factory, all this stuff, right? It's like definitely like these are the guys. I'm sure there's like they're looking at these ones. They have relationships with these ones, right? Yeah. So you know, knowing the output that they get out of them. So, but anyways, that was yours. Eamon, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
Or this week or this year?
Year. This year week.
It feels like I think that the one that I keep gravitating towards, and because I feel like I had a lull for like a couple years in terms of like keeping up with like the week to week like pro wrestling scene for the most part, and I feel like I'm kind of back in the last like year and a half or so, and I mean obviously all the changes that have happened, and especially like WWE, there's been a lot of movement in terms of that. One of the things I really liked is just like shows feeling big again and stuff feeling monumentous. And
you're talking about the TV ones.
Yeah. I would say like they've really made pay-per-view important again, or well, PLE, whatever you want to call it. Still pay-per-view. But I think that there has been sort of there was a lull for like a long period of time in terms of that, in terms of making things feel special and in terms of making things feel bigger. And I think that's really, they've done a really solid job of doing that across the board, providing that sort of like, you know, and adding things of like sports feel and stuff like that into the presentation. Overall, I really am enjoying. It's become a more inviting product to get back into because of the presentation, because of the those little things that they put into it to really just like not rest on their laurels and say like, you know, this is important again. And so I've been enjoying that.
It felt like they were on autopilot for a while there.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. It's like what gets us, like there is an exciting, especially when you see like the production things. Side note.
Sure.
Well, actually, no, I'm going to hold on to that from what I
also, thank you. Pay-per-views being on Saturdays, I think is the right move.
Really?
Yes. And also,
I think it's the right move except for everybody that works in the business, like some of us.
Fair.
Yeah.
And
Screaming out loud.
Yeah.
And under 3 hours. I'm fine with that as well.
Yes.
Well, I'm also
Breezy.
liking the fact that the pay-per-views that we've watched, I don't feel like I've missed anything by not watching the weekly show. I feel like I'm walking in and going, oh yeah, no, I get it. Like that's something that they've missed for a while.
I think they've been good on building the weekly show to be an event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the way that they're building up, like when they had some Intercontinental Championship matches, it was just like, oh, this is going to be something. You know, you can tell. Like they're doing packages. They're just like, we're treating this like a main event. You know, it's not just kind of there, right? They're like, something's about to happen, you know.
Well, yeah, because Raw used to be a slog to get through.
Yeah, it was.
And it just,
we'll see what happens when we go back to 3 hours for 2 shows every week here at the beginning of the year. Are you excited for that one?
No.
Not really.
So, anyways, we'll get to that in a moment. But first, I want to give a shout out to our friends that are supporting this show. And this, obviously, it's going to be a mess tonight. But it is the holiday show, and that's okay. We're allowed to be a sloppy mess for the holidays.
Aren't we all sloppy on holidays?
Yeah.
But thank you to everybody that does support the show, including our friends at the fan of the show level. Bo Diggity! Woo! Wow, that's spiked. As well as
job,
Team
Prince.
Hammerfist, Tupac family, Bubba Brewer of the Triple B podcast and APWF, and Jason French at the Poppy Club level. Dave Podner, there he is there, as well as Rats in Trenchcoat, Tony Kincaid at the Pizza Club level. The Riz. Yes, and at the manager level, Bradley. Wait, are you going to do the thing again? No, are you going to do the thing again? Okay, imagine it. Hold on. Do I have to do the thing? All right, hold on. Let's zoom you in. Here we go. Okay, there you go. That's for the visual. Wait, hold on. There you go.
Oh,
Officially.
oh, there it is.
What are you doing? What am I? Oh, that's his butt.
That's his butt.
That's his butt.
That's his butt. He's zooming
Okay.
in.
All right, we're gonna roll that back
Well-
out then.
I was so broke, bro. What happened?
You ever saw this yet?
Oh, that was the wedgie.
Bradley.
I
a
thought
Brad-
the
it's
phone
a-
was broken. I'm like,
Oh,
I
no,
couldn't
no.
say what the hell.
Anyways, thank you guys supporting the show at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. We actually just did the live stream all night for the Patreon tonight, so you'll also get it's this crew except for Facade on the Awesome Cast earlier today too, and we talked about a lot of shit, including stuff that made us feel old with our intern during the break. So what's that? What's
Free week.
A tweet about like pondering your mortality.
Yeah, pondering mortality. Welcome to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. 18 years deep and pondering our mortality as a podcast
Everything
and personally with our souls. Well, we got a little bit of a run-in happening here. Another run-in, not just you, Facade, because, and let me see if I can get this so everybody can hear what's going on here. We have on the line, oh no, I need to fix this in a moment. Actually, hold that for a moment because I have to re-plug in the other camera so we can see our friend. And 1 second. On the line, caller, are you on the line? Maybe he's muted.
Thank you for talking.
Not on the line.
Thank you. Sorg, do you hear me?
I think
Yes,
I
I'm
hear
here.
you. Yes.
Yes, here.
Yes.
Can you see me?
We will in a second. That's what that Windows sound means. Matt
Here
Carlins
I
is
am.
here.
Hello, everybody. Hey,
And Mason is here. Hello. We got a
Wait,
remote.
everybody. Hey, how are you? How are you?
Yes.
Warm Yuletide greetings to everybody. Hope you're all doing very well.
I like your warm fireplace going on over here.
Yep. If you got a Roku, Sorg, you could just fire this thing up. You don't need a log or anything. You could just, turn it on. It's great.
I do have
Provides no heat, but it's nice.
that's fine. Well, I mean, a TV. Well, yeah, no. If you have a nice old plasma TV, it will still provide heat.
That's true.
Yes. So, but anyways, so while we have you here, actually both of you, what did you learn in wrestling this year?
Mason, what did you learn from wrestling this year? Good answer. Okay. What?
Wrestling's fun again.
Wrestling is fun again. He
Okay.
learned that from The Rock. I believe The Rock said that.
Okay.
The Rock said wrestling is cool again.
He's got that big
So
Dwayne.
wrestling is cool now.
He's got that big Dwayne energy.
Yeah, I guess so. Sorg, I haven't been learning much from wrestling lately. Sorg,
Okay.
I got to confess, I've been on a bit of a detox lately.
Okay.
I've dramatically
You also started a new job, so that probably leads to it.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I've been working some nights, but like I am not, like, I'm getting home at night, in time to watch, weekly wrestling programming, and I'm just kind of being like, maybe I'll just.
Is this because of your personal run-in with professional wrestling at the Rumble a few months ago?
Well, yeah, you see, Sorg, once you here's one thing. Perhaps this is something I've learned from the entirety of my time on the Wrestling Mayhem show. Often we have actual professional wrestlers on the show.
We have one right now. Look at it, right
Oh my
there.
God, there he is.
Yeah, there he
Hey,
is.
Facade, how you doing? And so we will often ask them, during casual conversation, hey, what did you think about this thing that happened on this wrestling TV show this week? And what do these wrestlers always tell us? They're like, oh, I didn't watch that. I don't have time to watch wrestling. I'm too busy making wrestling. So I think since I am now actually a wrestler, even though that cage
Finger
match
quotes.
profile, I'm still
He
working
does have
on
a
it.
Does he have a cage match yet?
What are you just?
I
Are you
haven't
just?
gotten the cage match. I'm hoping Santa brings me a cage match profile for Christmas.
I mean, you're listed on there.
And
Your name is on there
I'm
from that
listed, but
Rumble.
I need an actual page so I can say trained by, and then I'll list you, Sorg, because you trained me in the media arts, and then what we'll do is so anyway, the point is, since I'm a wrestler now and I've actually had a match, I don't watch wrestling anymore because I don't have to. I'm too busy making wrestling now. Too busy making that one match that I was in for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was one hell of a minute.
What? Yeah, there you go. It was literally your minute of fame there.
Yes. But I hear people are still talking about it. What are you doing? Riz, how's that fantasy football league going for you, buddy?
Same
Sorg,
as you, buddy.
Can I cut a promo on Cooper Cup? Can I do that?
On who?
Cooper Cup. Can I cut a promo on Cooper Cup?
Who's Cooper Cup?
I'll tell you who Cooper Cup is. All right. Imagine this.
0.0.
You're going into battle. You're going into battle against your sworn enemy. For the purposes of this example, let's say his name is Chad the Shad. You're going into battle against Chad the Shad. You want all your soldiers ready to go into battle. You want all your players ready to give their very best. Now imagine this. You got someone, let's pretend Mason's Cooper Kupp. And you'd be like, you know what, Cooper Kupp, you're a really good wide receiver. Did he win an MVP one year? Offensive Player of the Year, right? And he's really good. He gets lots of points. And you're like, this is the week. I need you now more than ever. We're in the playoffs. And this puny little white vanilla donut does nothing, Sorg. Nothing. 0.00 points. And look, I'd be... Dude, I was there. All right? Anyway. Rough week for the team. Lost to Chad the Shad.
I have to point out as well. Tony Kincaid put up a really good fight. I also had a really bad week. Tony Kincaid's probably gonna be.
I didn't realize Tony was in the league.
Yeah.
Is Gianni still in the league?
He's in the league.
He's
out.
Yeah.
Whoa. Point that out there. He's out.
That's okay. He can
player.
Go home and polish those multiple championships he has right now.
But yeah.
Gianni, Facade,
Gianni. Polishing the 10 pounds of foam, I'll tell you.
No, he will not. Listen, Gianni's going to look like you when you have those multiple belts, Facade, very soon.
Yeah.
Because he's picking them up. He's collecting them. He's collecting them all around the place. What's that?
Oh,
you lost another one. That's okay. You'll get it back.
Sunday in a cage.
In a cage? Oh, don't get me started on cages. Did anybody see the cage spot from that I posted today? Where the cage almost fell down.
Oh no, I
on
did
Saturday. So cages are structurally interesting. So there you go. Matt, you got any other insights here before we move on to the next person?
No, I just wanted to draw. I'm going to be on my way. I honestly, I gotta put another log on the fire back there to keep that thing roaring. But I just wanted to drop in because it's been a few minutes. I know my life in the mainstream media has reignited, and I've been pulled away from you guys. And oh my God, look, a commercial just came up in my fireplace. Is that an ad? Another log on, and I can't just leave this thing unattended.
That's like you.
I know it's been a minute since I've been on the show with you guys, but I really miss all you. I miss being around the indie wrestling. I miss being around the dirty, sweaty gymnasium in West Newton. That's always fun too. But I'm always thinking about you guys. Even though I'm not watching wrestling, I'm always thinking about wrestling, and that's the most important thing. So happy holidays to everybody out there. Everyone on the couch, especially you, Facade. Go out there, kick some ass, get some more belts for me.
Keep making wrestling.
Keep making wrestling, yes.
Get out there and keep making some more wrestling. So you don't have time to watch any.
Before you leave, since we haven't gone to that, do you have a prediction for wrestling in 2025?
CM Punk will not be in a main event at WrestleMania. Whoa. And it will be hilarious.
Ooh.
How's that? There you go.
All right, I got it down for you. Thank you so much for joining us there. Matt Carlins and Mason of Mason Mania joining us on the line. Good night, guys. I like this run-in. This has got very Muppet Christmas special vibes to me right now. So
you just need a fake doorbell sound.
I do. I need everybody slipping on the ice patch at the door too. So to go truly, if you know, you know.
I burnt my hand on the doorknob.
What? Oh no! We're from the wrestling industry.
There's an M on my hand.
Why did you do that? What?
There's an M from McAllister on my hand.
Hey man, I can't remember. Did you go before we went to break?
Yeah, I already went.
You went. Okay, let's go down the line. Dave Potter, what did you learn from wrestling this year?
We all learned something.
Yes.
There was a question that we've had for the last 40 years. Mm-hmm. What happened when Vince really leaves? Oh. We found out.
Dramatic close-up for this one. And we speculated, can wrestling exist without Vince McMahon?
And we found out it's better.
I mean,
so much better.
I mean, I think that was predictable, right?
But I mean, think about it though, especially
Did we think Triple H would be this good though?
Well, that's the thing, and also I would say since 2000 or 2001, since WCW went away, and there was no competition. You know, for all those years, there was TNA, there was Ring of Honor, but they still there was definitely not 1A. There was 1
Right.
and then 4.
Right.
You know, like I remember hearing Taz when he had his podcast, people coming up and saying, "Oh, are you still wrestling?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm on TV every week on TNA." You don't see me?
Yeah.
You know, AEW makes it 1A now.
Yeah.
But up until then,
Challenger brand, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of viewership, in
Yeah.
terms of everything else, it is a little bit smaller. Not in terms of quality, but
It's
in
still
terms
like
of mindset.
AEW has been hitting pop culture at least in the way WWE did 10 years ago. I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
WWE doesn't have the Costco guys.
I mean, right? Hey, we were talking about those verticals on social media, right? That
I'm
on the
still
last
sour
on
by
the
that, by the way.
Awesomecast.
I
That
just wanna
really
point
counts.
out, I'm still very sour by that.
Oh,
Still-
I know,
yeah.
I know,
Still-
and I
The
feel
only one
so
true
bad. I
Yeah.
feel so bad. I took a picture with David Lawless at the last Penn Brewery show, and I sent it to the group that included the Riz, and it had a Rizzler. He had a Rizzler T-shirt on. Also, when he took his Black Hand Society shirt off, like NWO style, I'm like, he's going to reveal an 880 shirt. No, he still had the Rizzler shirt on in the middle of the ring at the end of the show. And I'm just like, wait, what is this faction? Is the Rizzler coming to 880? I don't fucking know anymore. By the way, I knew zero about the end of that match. So, so anyways, that's where we're at. Yes. What? Jeez. Where are we at here?
So you were saying about
where are we
Vince
at
Vaughn.
here? But yeah, Potter, were you finished? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, but basically, especially like I said, when WCW went away, we were wondering if Vince goes away, let's say in the mid 2015s,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Triple H was just starting running NXT. We were like, who
Yes,
takes over?
that
Is
was-
it going to be Stephanie? Is it going to be Shane? And then we were like, please don't be Shane. We don't want you booking yourself and blowing out your legs trying to do a very simple thing anymore.
yeah.
You don't have to jump from 25 feet to get your father's approval.
We don't want your father's approval.
No.
You still
Why
didn't
should you
get
want
your
it?
father's-
But then we learned that, yes.
No, he got a hug. He got a hug out of that.
He got a hug
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
match with Taker and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
But
yeah.
it took that. It literally took him almost dying. But,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we found out that, yes, there's enough people left in WWE who, A, are younger than 80, so they have an idea what's going on. And, yeah, there's, you know, there's still a WWE, AEW style, indie style. There's a difference between the two, but it's not as big of a gulf as it used to be. And yeah, wrestling after Vince is a lot better.
Yeah. Especially because Tripp really got the chance to hone the behind the scenes stuff with NXT to where now he's ready to run the company.
And also think about, he has been sitting in the office since like 98, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like he's been around. He's been in the, and I'm sure. Listen, guys. Like, I understand the sitting there and be like, man, if I get to run this show, I'm going to run it so much better and different than what's happening right now. Like, I've been in that position, and I'm in that position. You know, like that is, he has been able to sit and stew about how he thinks wrestling should run as a wrestler, which Vince has never been.
Right. Well, he tried.
And a different perspective on wrestling.
He's a WWE and ECW champion, sorry.
What?
Yeah, that is
I
true
guess
about
that's-
Vince.
He's a WWE and ECW
Multiple
champion.
time
Yes.
champion.
Yes.
And he mocked God. Mocked
Survived.
God.
God!
Who's laughing now?
Not good enough for Backlash? Anyways, where was I going with that?
I don't know.
So I know. So anyways, yeah. So he's been looking at this, had a shot to take at NXT, which he's handed off to his good buddy in the good old boys club, his Shawn Michaels now. So what's happening right now?
From the chat
Is
room.
the chat room? Oh no, is the chat room
Danny
falling apart?
said more Home Alone jokes, and then ladies, Facade is single.
Oh, there you go. You've heard it here first. Anyways,
Let's also not forget, Shawn Michaels has NXT bracket too.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And I'm like, you know, I remember old interviews which like Triple H Shawn-ish, where, you know, there was a kinship with Vince, where it's like they got to get to a point with him where he's just like, oh, Vince is just one of the boys. You know what I mean? Like, on a certain level, of course. Obviously, you know, there's other levels that, you know, there's a documentary about, and lawsuits, perhaps, allegedly.
I mean, the lawsuits aren't alleged.
Yes, exactly. So, I'm just throwing allegedly out just to cover my ass, just in case. You know, just yes. But and now he's able to execute, and he's able to execute, and has the best fucking resources of all time right now.
Yeah.
With that video team and the TKO resources and stuff, it was just like they're not just like they're just fucking going balls out with this thing. And now
What's the fellow's name? Is it Nutter?
Lee
Nutting?
Lee Nutting, I think. Yeah.
He was from the NBA, right?
Something like that,
Bring
yeah.
that like sports
Yep,
kind of feel
yep,
that
yep.
also, you know, cluster that in, and then with like the social media people they've been using, like Logan, iShowSpeed, all those guys popping in. They're trying to get
it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
They're hitting every platform, and they're just blowing some stuff out of the water. I'll roll that into what I learned. It's like I relearned how much wrestling is a place for creativity. Again, top down, we're talking about the WWE side, where the wrestlers seem to have more creative input, and that's building things up and trying different things. Paul Heyman within the last year said something. Oh, he said it at his Hall of Fame speech, right? Where he says there are more opportunities and more people positioned to potentially be in a main event spot than has ever been before.
Right.
Before it was like, oh, there's like 4 guys that could be the main event of this pay-per-view. It was like, oh, if this person slides up. If Chad Gable slides up into a main event spot, like, you know, before WrestleMania, I fucking believe it. Yep. I was like, no, they could do this. They could fucking do this. And that was not even like, oh, no, we know what this is going to be, da-da-da-da-da. You know, this is just a placeholder thing. Obviously, it's Elimination Chamber. We're just bullshitting this thing. They could do some stuff, right? And
Like,
it's
remember back, what was it, like maybe 5-10 years ago, when like first it was Santino almost winning the Rumble. Mm-hmm. And we're like, oh, he's never going to win the Rumble. But what if he wins?
But you make a believer for a second, but you still took it away.
And then wasn't he in the chamber too? Or was it R-Truth? Was it?
Might have been R-Truth.
It was Santino. Yeah, Santino was in the chamber as well, and they kind of pushed that idea, but they were never going to pull the trigger.
No.
But there's still that what if. Now, if that happened today, like right now, I have no idea who's winning the Rumble.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want. I don't want to hear the dirt sheets or anything like that. I don't know who's going to win the Rumble. That's what I want.
Well, and that unpredictability is why it's exciting, right? It's why
Bushwhacker Luke could completely win this thing.
I don't know who that is, but good for them.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, by the way, I was at Target the other day.
Yeah.
Or yesterday.
They had a Bushwhacker Luke.
They have the Bushwhacker Luke and Butch as Doink.
Oh,
the Survivor Series.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool.
That's a deep cut right there. But from what I learned, like, you know, that creativity as far as the wrestlers go, as far as the production is going, one of my favorite things to do is work in that creative space, like figuring out promos and things like that. So we shoot it this way, do this, like the most fun thing. There was a New Japan promo I got to work on, where there was a lot of like somebody's getting attacked. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this angle, and we're like do a cutaway and come to this, and then we had to fix it because there was like a miscue in there and stuff. Like I love that space. And then seeing stuff because my night gummy was kicking in early last night, and I was watching Raw. And the one where, did you guys see this scene where somebody is talking in the foreground? It's like Adam Pearce and somebody. Oh, Seth and Adam Pearce. And in the background, you just see Drew gunning straight towards them in the middle. And then just gets blindsided by Sammy, and it turns into like these layered things that they're doing are so fucking. I'm just like, what mad genius is doing this like a layered scene thing? Like, we talk about like Nikki Cross has been stalking people for a year, and if you didn't notice, you didn't notice, right? Which all gives clues to something they're doing now, right? On top of the long-term storytelling that's happening, And I was thinking about this, but by a side note, because people keep picturing about AEW doesn't do long-term storytelling. Talk to me about Swerve and Hangman.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? That is like layers, and they're doing a very similar thing to what a Kevin Owens and Drew is doing. It was like, this guy should not nobody should trust this guy, and he's got a championship and everybody loves him, and it drives them nuts, right?
Yep.
Like, that's a great story, because you're like, yeah, I get it, man, but you kind of take it the wrong way.
And to that point, like, kind of what I learned is, you don't know who's right.
Right.
Like, you don't know who's right.
Right. It feels real.
It's the turning of like, oh, this one's heel, this one's face, and it's just I think I mentioned this before. It's a gray area in wrestling.
Have you ever had those two friends that have been arguing and feuding over something?
Yeah.
And you talk to both sides of them, and you're just like, yeah, they're right about this, but they're fucked up on that.
Yeah.
They're right about this, but fucked up on this, and everybody's just kind of missing. Like, that's that, but nobody's wearing a shirt and they fight.
Yep. Like, you have that in
which kind of happens with friends sometimes, but
you have that in both promotions.
Yeah,
like,
you do.
We just mentioned that with Swerve and Hangman. We have that with Kevin Owens and everybody. We have that with Drew McIntyre and everybody. We have that with Punk and Rollins.
Which is a perfectly adequate thing. Why are you helping the people that made all of our lives a living hell for 4 years?
Yeah. And now I'm going to pile drive you.
4 months later.
I'm going to package pile drive you now. In the head. Good luck.
You just driven it so home. Man, it's so fucking good right now.
It makes me happy. Like, I kind of like that. And I think it's more along the lines of like a TKO UFC interaction where we don't know who's the bad guy or good guy in UFC, but it's fucking entertaining.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's no heels and face in the UFC generally, right?
Yeah,
generally, right? And then we get like something like Finn and Gunther was supposed to happen. And you're just like, yeah, I get that. It's just two people with an issue that want a damn belt. And like, I want to fucking see what happens.
Yeah, we want to see what happens with Finn Balor. Like, what if Finn Balor wins? Like,
there's so much where like. And I know the argument can be the lack of heel face a lot of times is diluting things, but
I don't want that.
I don't know, man. Like, some of it's like everybody's hot for somebody.
Yeah.
So everybody is even more hot trying to drown out the other people that like the other person.
And that's why everybody hates the New Day.
Oh my God.
Because they were going back and forth with each other, and then they pulled the rug out of our feet, and we both hate them. We hate them both now.
This is another thing I've been thinking about, and we were just watching a little bit of Saturday Night's Main Event from 1988, and how hot the crowd was there with some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I was 1.
I was 7.
I was -1.
Don't answer that.
Hey, John, how about you?
Don't answer that, John. Don't answer.
Don't answer that.
Okay.
I'm leaving the headphones on. I don't even want to hear it. So I feel old enough tonight. So, anyways, but I remember, you talk about we were talking about the soft period in WWE, right? And I just remember people were there and they're kind of like not really invested in what's happening. They're just happy to be there, drink some beers, have a hot dog, and whatever, right? Yep. The unification of the crowd with God, who were they booing on Saturday Night's Main Event? And I don't know if they had that was 5 matches.
Oh,
that was 5 matches on that show. I don't know if they had they had to have some kind of dark match, right? But like all those people came out, filled that place up, and were hot for 5 matches. That's fucking amazing, right? I want to be on that card. I want to shoot that card, because God, these are getting long. But anyways, Like, nobody is sitting down looking at their phone. They're invested on what the fuck is going on in the ring, to the point that's the only reason you get that loud, right? It's happening on Raw. It's happening at Saturday Night's Main Event. Obviously, the pay-per-views, there's not a lot of filler in the pay-per-views anymore, because that's what makes people, like, just zone out, right? Yeah. So, like, they just got such a fevered pitch with this thing and have really kind of got a great formula. How long will it last? We'll see, but they're on a pretty good thing now.
Well, and one of the really great things about having everybody be in this gray space in the middle between heel and face, and those kind of not being the defaults anymore, is it means that when we do have a true heel or a true face show up, that's more special, right? That's something that pops.
Like an MJF.
Whereas used to, you would have a sea of faces and no one was special and nobody gave a shit. And you'd have a sea of heels and no one was special and no one gave a shit.
Or you have something like, I think there's something to be said for the AEW New Japan thing, where it's like everybody's just a competitor.
Yeah.
Like that. And again, that's a very, like, if you're up for it kind of thing. That's a sport. That's if you love the sport of wrestling. I want to watch that. I want to watch blue and gold block wrestling and all this kind of stuff, and go into that. Like, but again, that's a certain kind of fan.
I mean, there's a market for that,
Absolutely.
but it's not the everyday fan.
No, not yet, at least.
Back in the day, I remember when we were both on on the podcast, like
this podcast. You sure?
With like TVs and all that stuff. And, like, back in the day.
Oh, when I max headroomed everybody on more monitors behind me? Yeah.
I think we kind of joked around for a bit with like the in between of heels and faces, like Haces and feels.
I don't remember this.
We're here.
We're in the feels era of professional wrestling.
The feels and Haces.
Shades of gray, pal.
Shades of gray.
There's 50 of them.
On that note, from the chat room, we have some input from our buddy Matt, True Prince of Pro, on the social medias. One thing I learned in pro wrestling this year is that when WWE just allows Drew McIntyre to be himself, he is the absolute best wrestler in the world. He really elevated his game this year, and his feud with Punk was by far the best feud of 2024. Yes. 100%. Yes, 100%. I'm with that. Also from Matt, also along the lines of what Sorga's talking about in terms of creativity this year, thanks to pro wrestling, he's learned how to find their voice and create more content that they personally enjoy making for independent wrestling. I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about, we were talking social media on AwesomeCast before, like that thing about finding your niche, your creativity, and Matt's definitely got it with what he's been doing online, and I can't wait to see what's next for him as he grows up with his abilities and finds out where he wants to apply them. So, but hopefully I'm foreshadowing for that. But anyways, on that note, speaking of pro wrestling, hey, there's a lot happening even this week. It's the end of the year, but it's also the end of a few other things. Wow, that was
dark.
I'm
really
sorry.
Dark.
Wow,
what
that
the
was.
Fuck, sorry.
This week we have two shows live streaming on IndyWrestling.us, including, of course, Friday night is going to be the Unholy Brandon St. James Unholy Holiday. That's going to be at Penn Brewery here. It's Friday night, I believe 8 p.m. is the start time for that one. That will be free on our social medias or on our streamers, including IndyWrestling.network for free. If you want to go see it over there without any issues with music or ads or anything like that, it's fully free over there. I should start pushing that more. That's going to be my New Year's resolution over there. If you're sick of ads on YouTube and don't pay for the thing, so I keep forgetting because I pay for it and I forget you guys see ads a lot of times, but and I'm sure they're god awful, and interrupt matches and shit like that, right?
You calling this poor, Sorg?
Oh no.
I mean, brother's fireplace did just get interrupted with ads, so
That's true. You can't even get a fireplace.
That's
do
true.
you pay $12 for that amount of time for your month? I like time over money, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. And we're only $5.99 over there, $4.99 on the YouTube.
No ads.
No ads. I don't do ads. No, I turn the ads off. But
that sounded like it was.
But also on the network, I'm trying to remember how the system works. But on the network, we won't have to mute out AC/DC when Gambinos are having their send off on RWA season greetings from this past week, because man, that blocked the shit out of the show.
Dirty Deeds.
So what's that?
Dirty Deeds.
Dirty Deeds.
I remember.
Fucking Dirty Deeds, man. And they played it 3 times because it was the send-off, and they had a promo in between. So, yeah, there's a lot of dirty deeds. Anyways, but yeah, so you can see that IndyWrestling.network. I believe the VOD is up now. I think they were working on it today on our web team. So go check that out. It's a great show there. And even you see the first 3 matches for free over on YouTube, including Shaza McKenzie, which was doing Shaza McKenzie was doing a Rick Rude on Saturday.
Yep.
Not that part. The part where you're on 2 different programs. On RWA on the live feed at IndyWrestling.network, but is also taking on, I believe, the young upstart Tony Storm over on Collision on AEW at the same time. I think relatively the same time, actually.
Much, yeah.
So, if I recall from when I watched that back. And, of course, the cage match with the Gambinos versus the Y Guys families.
The cage blew up.
The cage blew up. The clip went out on social media today. It blew the fuck up. The cage could not contain them.
Well, it didn't blow up. It fell.
It fell. It did not injure
Well, that's not
anybody.
as cool as it blowing.
This is a bad year. This is a bad year for steel cages in Pittsburgh. Let's just put it this way.
I was worried for the people in West Newton.
I think they could take it. I mean, I don't think no, I'm not going there.
No, don't say that. Sorg.
Anyways, but also the big Thursday, we're gonna have a good cry because 880 is going to be having their very last show in New Kensington at the old Dottie block, moving to the south side in Pittsburgh, but definitely a place over the last 2 years has been a lot of memories there. And that's going to be a special start time at 7:30 p.m. if you're joining us in person, or on the live streams. That'll be free for everybody. So looking forward but not looking forward to that one. And a lot of other stuff, great stuff going on here in the new year with our friends with RWA, VCW, and 880, and Big League Pro actually had a great show a couple weeks ago that's up on there on VOD. So go check it out. Thank you everybody for supporting IndyWrestling.us. Now comes the shame portion of the show.
Shame.
We're going to look at the predictions for 2024. And first, as we do, we will approach the people that cannot defend themselves this year by being on the show. So, from that, nope, not that. Ronnie Starks.
Holy shit. Ronnie Starks was here.
Yeah. Well, not here. I'm sure he was remote or something like that. But,
Yeah, I don't think he was here last
he's
year.
definitely I don't think Ronnie leaves his house. Ronnie Stark says, R-Truth will dethrone Gunther for the Intercontinental title. This was also Riz's, apparently.
Was it?
Apparently you agreed to it. I don't know. Cody will not dethrone Roman Reigns and Mania.
Shame.
And will continue to SummerSlam to win the title.
Title.
CM Punk will not win the title at Mania.
True.
And he will burn bridges again on the way out the door by 2025.
Hey, still got a couple weeks.
Yeah,
That was a big fat zero mero for you.
Hi.
But no partners here. Lunchbox is not here.
Lunchbox is not here.
I didn't invite him since we were in person, and he lives in somewhere else.
Not here.
Lunchbox had said Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill maybe at Mania. Did it happen yet? I don't think it has. No. Ooh, but man, I want it.
To. Mayhem Mania is coming up.
AEW will become more accessible via streaming.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah, announcement. I'm going to give them a half point on that at the very least. CM Punk will burn bridges leaving WWE to go to RWA. No. 2024 will be the year Vince passes away.
Okay,
So that's
professionally.
So Lunchbox has been saying that for years. That is Katie's. That is his daughter's.
The pet translator from Awesome Cast. Okay.
Yes.
We still got 2 weeks left in the year.
Let's not hope for it, but like,
I mean, for somebody's death.
Look. I'm not gonna hope for it, but
The only thing I'm hoping to die is that fucking mustache.
oh dear God, that thing's
I
awful.
wonder what he looks like now.
Hmm?
I wonder what he looks like now.
I don't want to see it. Also, he says Danhausen will come to WWE.
Nope.
All right.
I don't see that happening.
Rats in a trench coat. Tony Kincaid said, Chest is going to burn the damn Civic Center to the ground by the end of the year. Chest?
chest
Chest flexor?
flexor.
Civic Center?
Civic Center.
What the fuck?
2PW?
Huh?
2PW?
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Well,
He's a pyromaniac.
I mean-
I mean,
it's they're not.
I wasn't physically burned down, but
I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's a half point.
I mean, you know.
I mean that's not a no.
I'm surprised he didn't have a prediction about that sign. Mad One says WWE. You know about the sign, right? Everybody knows about the billboard? Okay.
Yeah.
It's on TikTok. WWE, the 4 horsewomen will be together in the same match at one point. No. Cody will win the Rumble and film a Rocky-style promo for Mania with him running up the stairs to the statue of Dusty as opposed to the Rocky statue.
Yes and no.
That was a very specific...
Metaphorically.
In our hearts, yes. NXT, someone from NXT will win a world championship on the main roster. Like, will come up and win?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Like that
LA
was?
Knight.
Oh, I was thinking it was more like
Oh, no, LA Knight was
the
last.
brands are not
Like they're-
fully
yeah.
divided
Yeah, because they were
anymore.
doing a lot of crossover around then. I think we were doing a lot of that. So, where am I at? AEW. There will be a tag tournament composed of entirely brother teams.
What?
I want it.
I were there.
I wouldn't say that's out of the possibility, right?
No, they
Like,
got a lot of
that's
brother teams, you know.
some sort of
I'd love it to
kink
happen.
that would go
By the
on.
way, people give AEW shit for all the tournaments, and there was some tweet that said that they did 6 and WWE did like 26.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So it's like,
Yeah, but WWE spreads it across 80 shows, whereas
Well, they're so tiny and they're like 2 weeks long, so you don't realize they happened,
It's
right?
like those battle royals on the house shows that just happened.
TNA will have the return of the Terror Dome or a Dixieland match.
My heart just sank there because I thought you were about to say Tessa.
That would have been correct.
That would have been like.
Let's see if Tessa Blanchard can kill another promotion.
oh my god,
TNA will never die.
That is true, but it has
More are
and
coming.
that has been tested. Wheels says major star will be a champion in RWA. Is Mike Law count?
I mean, he's colossal.
He is colossal. So I'll give him a half point for that.
I'll allow it.
Tina's in the chat, of course. So I'll just start with this.
Wait.
What?
The women's champion from WoW.
The fucking Hawaiian
Yeah.
girl?
She's on TV,
She okay.
isn't she?
I think she's on TV.
That
And
counts.
I'm also fairly certain that championship went back to Hawaii and got thrown into a volcano because I haven't
Probably.
seen it since.
Yeah.
So and we have a lot of ladies
Point.
lately.
That's I'll give Wheels that point.
Wheels getting at
I
least
checked the volcano
okay.
when I was over there. I didn't see it.
No, I don't. Do you know how volcanoes work?
I know Charizard lives in a volcano.
The answer is yes.
Yes,
You know what? Yeah, you know what? That tracks. I'm going to give you that.
Okay.
Point for Facade.
I did it.
All right. Let's go. All right, let's put myself on this one. Actually, no. Let's deal with this. I was going to start with Tina because she's in the chat room and can't directly attempt to defend herself. please chime in. 2023 wrestling thoughts in a nutshell. It's good to set. Oh, this was.
this was
is
like
this what
email.
she learned? When emails about the throw out the negativity and consumerism. Yeah, that was last year. What I would predict in 2024, there will be an AEW. Yes, I said AEW women's main event on a pay-per-view. I don't think that happened, right? Basically, everybody's got the ooh face. I don't think that happened.
It's it's very reasonable.
It did. No, it didn't happen yet. In general, like in their history, right? Like, man, no. So, well. Orange Cassidy will win the world. Will be in the world title picture.
Point.
Point. I would like to see a new U.S. cities underneath the New Japan Pro Wrestling belt. I said I did NPJW. That's wrong. So,
I think that's good.
they did Boston.
So
they went back
what
to
was before
California.
that?
I don't know. We were out of the loop for a couple months there. I can't remember any new cities, and no, it didn't. So I think they're going back to the well on some regular ones. So because I think Boston they've done before too. Texas, DC, I know they've been through like at least 3 times. Chicago.
Maybe it's us.
What's that?
Like, the microphone keeps moving on us.
Well, you're sharing it, so that's understandable. So I really need to start pressing my contacts and say, hey, when are you coming to Pittsburgh? Please. So
New Japan in Pittsburgh would be.
Wouldn't that be fun? Where would they go? I don't know
where would they go. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, like
David Lawrence.
No.
I mean, like the
David Lawrence.
DC is a WNBA arena, and AEW is coming there like next week, I think.
Okay.
Put him in the Pete.
And even the one in Boston is the one NXT's at tonight.
Oh.
So
Yeah, put him in the Pete. That's
put
where
them in the
AEW
Pete.
is.
Yeah, AEW's there. I mean, you can scale to whatever you want to do. They filled out that pyramid pretty good on Sunday. So, yeah. So it's they have their cities. They have the ones that work for them. But I think it'll be interesting to see what happens in 2025. I do not have I don't even know dates for 2025 here. I know one date for 2025 that Macy's involved in. So I'll find out when you guys do at Wrestle Kingdom, honestly. So, but anyways, that's all those. Who's here? Who's here? Who? I'm here. AEW will have a Peacock WWE style deal for the back catalog with a provider, Max or others.
Max.
Or roll everything into a new spin-off version of Honor Club. Well, I'm going to say not right because all they did is a simulcast deal. We don't know if the back catalog is going to be on there.
I thought that was confirmed.
Is it confirmed?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Give Sorg a point.
No, not the Honor Club thing.
The Honor Club, yeah.
AEW
Half a
catalog.
point.
AEW and others will form a coalition like the one in Japan. I remember at the time, like Noah and a bunch of promotions announced a giant coalition that they had a name for it.
That Wrestle Dream, you could say, is
Cyberfight.
Cyberfight?
Cyberfight was the company that owned all of them.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Noah and
But New Japan was also like a part of it, right?
No, I think that was
So-
DDT and Tokyo Joshi.
yes.
Yeah.
And then was like the Wrestle Universe, or Wrestling Universe was the streaming service that they had.
Yeah. I know about the San Jose. I'm very familiar with the San Jose date. So thank you. But yeah, that's the only one they've done. But that's also like the first follow up from Wrestle Kingdom is going to be the San Jose Battle in Valley that they're going to
I
do.
want to point out something with it, what you said there, Sorg, with your prediction. That kind of was the opposite of what happened. What? Like, they didn't do the conglomeration, but didn't WWE and TNA just do a thing and then just
Well, I think they weren't like
There
a
is no
call.
more Forbidden Door. That's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
we
It's-
learned
it's-
this year.
it's just
I think it
a
was more of
doorway.
I think it was just the Forbidden Door situation. I think it's all Wrestle Kingdom is too.
Yeah.
Right. It is, but it's literally been labeled as New Japan's Forbidden Door show. Right. So.
And we did have Jericho show up on another show too.
Yeah, that's
to
what they
attack their champion. I know it's storyline, but it's something on AEW TV for the Ring of Honor Championship.
Yep.
On an angle that happened on GCW.
And they've done that before. That's
Yeah.
not new. And it's not a coalition. GCW is working with guys coming in from WWE and TNA. So I mean, I think
fuck with Effie.
was that?
A lot of people want to fuck with Effie.
Why are they fucking with Effie?
I don't know.
Oh, there's been a whole thing this past week.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The whole Tony Khan
Oh,
thing.
there's a whole.
Yeah.
I know. Effie was pissed that. And I understand this. I
Like, they
understand
took
the
off
optics.
Danny Garcia. They took off
That I remember when they said that when AEW announced Hammerstein Ballroom, like right after or right before GCW announced they're coming back. So it's just like okay, it is what it is. So I don't know how those deals go together, but hey, I'm happy there's wrestling at Hammerstein in general, honestly, because that's a fucking cool venue. So to watch in person or on TV, but and that's I'm not done yet. That's right, Potter.
Yes.
All right.
Before we go on, before my shame, we have breaking news from the chat room. From special correspondent Danny Moe, I'll be posting sizes on social media. Neon Blonde's merch liquidation bundles just in time for Christmas.
And that's our Wrestling Mayhem show break-in ad. I appreciate the hustle. Yeah,
I literally thought you were about to be like, breaking news: Vince McMahon is dead.
Potter says Gunther will win over Seth in Berlin to take the world title. I'm giving you a half point on that one because Gunther had the title and won. Yeah. Who did he beat?
Damien.
No, Randy Orton, wasn't it? In Berlin.
Oh, in Berlin.
Yeah,
Randy
yeah.
won. Yeah.
Tina will cause chaos on Mayhem Mania. I think that was that happened. That happened. The most talked about AEW superstar continues to be timeless Tony Storm. And yes. Continues. Riz. Yes. R-Truth will win a main title in WWE or NXT, North American or tag.
Tag!
Hey!
I think that's my first point. I really think that's my first point I've won.
WWE 2K24 will have a more robust roster than 23. That was an easy one.
Yeah.
And your main event, MJF goes to WWE.
Well,
okay.
You got a tattoo, Dan.
Hey, I got a point. Yeah, I got 2 points.
You got a tattoo. All right. We're gonna find out how we're gonna shame ourselves next year. That sounds.
How many are we doing?
How many predictions?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a max of 3.
A max of 3.
Yeah, because we got a little wild last year. So.
Okay. Are we doing a thinking it over thing, or are we doing it now?
Well, we're going to go to an ad break.
Okay.
A scheduled ad break, not a fireplace interrupting ad break.
Scheduled.
But first, we have a few messages from our friends in the wrestles and some holiday greetings, and we'll be right back after this.
Sorg, it's your favorite muscle mommy. I'm here to tell you, happy holidays.
Ho, ho, ho! Put that microphone down! No, I kid. Now, I wouldn't be caught dead at tonight's festivities, but I'm no Grinch, okay? So I wanted to remind everyone what the holidays is really about, and that's buying great gifts for people like yours truly. So let me remind you that the empty tag rope is available everywhere now, written by your pals over at Buddy's Inc. It's the best holiday gift this season.
So Marco, now that we got the belts, what more could you want for Christmas? Well, Blake, I would really love for these lights to become untangled. I mean, who put these away last year anyway? Here, Marco, hit that. Let me see. Jeez.
Boys, cookies are ready. Here we go.
Happy holidays. And Merry XXXmas.
From the Den of Desire.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Sorg, it's your favorite muscle mommy. I'm here to tell you, happy holidays.
Ho, ho, ho! Put that microphone down! No, I kid. Now, I wouldn't be caught dead at tonight's festivities, but I'm no Grinch, okay? So I wanted to remind everyone what the holidays is really about. And that's buying great gifts for people like yours truly. So let me remind you that the empty tag rope is available everywhere now. Written by your pals over at Buddy's Inc. It's the best holiday gift this season.
So Marco, now that we got the belts, what more could you want for Christmas? Well, Blake, I would really love for these lights to become untangled. I mean, who put these away last year anyway? Here, Marco, hit that. Let me see. Jeez.
Boys, cookies are ready. Here we go.
Happy holidays. And Merry XXXmas.
From the Den of Desire.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Sorg, it's your favorite muscle mommy. I'm here to tell you, happy holidays.
Ho, ho, ho! Put that microphone down! No, I kid. Now, I wouldn't be caught dead at tonight's festivities, but I'm no Grinch, okay? So I wanted to remind everyone what the holidays is really about. And that's buying great gifts for people like yours truly. So let me remind you that the empty tag rope is available everywhere now. Written by your pals over at Buddy's Inc. It's the best holiday gift this season.
So Marco, now that we got the belts, what more could you want for Christmas? Well, Blake, I would really love for these lights to become untangled. I mean, who put these away last year anyway? Here, Marco, hit that. Let me see. Jeez.
Boys, cookies are ready. Here we go.
Happy holidays. And Merry XXXmas.
From the Den of Desire.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Sorg, it's your favorite muscle mommy. I'm here to tell you, happy holidays.
Ho, ho, ho! Put that microphone down! No, I kid. Now, I wouldn't be caught dead at tonight's festivities, but I'm no Grinch, okay? So I wanted to remind everyone what the holidays is really about. And that's buying great gifts for people like yours truly. So let me remind you that the empty tag rope is available everywhere now. written by your pals over at Buddy's Inc. It's the best holiday gift this season.
So Marco, now that we got the belts, what more could you want for Christmas? Well, Blake, I would really love for these lights to become untangled. I mean, who put these away last year anyway? Here, Marco, hit that. Let me see. Jeez.
Boys, cookies are ready. Here we go.
Happy holidays. And Merry XXXmas.
From the Den of Desire.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an FAQ lens?
If
Sorg, it's your favorite muscle mommy. I'm here to tell you, happy holidays.
Ho, ho, ho! Put that microphone down! No, I kid. Now, I wouldn't be caught dead at tonight's festivities, but I'm no Grinch, okay? So I wanted to remind everyone what the holidays is really about, and that's buying great gifts for people like yours truly. So let me remind you that the empty tag rope is available everywhere now. Written by your pals over at Buddy's Inc. It's the best holiday gift this season.
So Marco, now that we got the belts, what more could you want for Christmas? Well, Blake, I would really love for these lights to become untangled. I mean, who put these away last year anyway? Here, Marco, hit that. Let me see. Jeez.
Boys, cookies are ready. Here we go.
Happy holidays. And Merry XXXmas.
From the Den of Desire.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, a gay and his NB is the...
We are back, and I've learned so much during that extended break. You have no idea. Listen, man. Yes. We're here. Everybody's fucking here. Facade's here. Gay and his NB, Eamon and Merlin are here, and Riz and Podner are here as well, and intern John's off camera too. So educating me. Anyways, this is the point where we look into the future. I need an envelope here or something. Like 2000. I was going Karnak, but I'm an old.
Wow, we're getting
yes, hermetically sealed under the porch of Bucka Waggle's
You know what?
porch.
We should do a wrestling-based Karnak bit. So look it up, kids. You have YouTube or TikTok, I guess. For a few days at least.
What is it? 32 at last count?
I think we counted 32 on the last show. Anyways. This is the time where we find out what do you think is absolutely, positively, definitely going to happen in 2025. We're going to meticulously note-take these ones better than we did last year, apparently. And I want to start with Merlin, because apparently you had a prediction for the last 2 years that we maybe didn't note last year.
So
I want to go with this. Because we didn't read it.
We didn't read it because it wasn't written down. And I don't know if it was an official thing. So 2 years ago, I predicted that Ricky Starks would win a world title, and he did a world tag title the next year. And then last year, I could have sworn that I made the prediction that we would have more queer storylines.
We've had this discussion. I know you did at some point. Maybe it's just maybe we just had this conversation watching World's End or something.
Maybe. Whatever. But then we had, all the things that I mentioned at the top of the show. right? With, Damian Priest and all of that. So there's a lot of pressure because I've been right 2 years in a row.
So you basically just want to confirm that you got a point.
I'm confirming that I got a point 2 years in a row, and I am better than the rest of you, and you know it. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure for me to come up with something that's accurate. My prediction, and I know that we talked about being unable to predict where things are going now. My prediction is that Damian Priest will win back his title at WrestleMania after having won the Rumble.
I'm just going to call it main title, just in case.
A title.
Yes. You said at WrestleMania or for?
Well,
losing?
I think he will win the Rumble to
Okay.
get his chance at Mania, and then win the title at
So
Mania.
he'll win a main title via his Rumble win.
Yes, sure.
I see it because he's still a top guy there.
Yeah.
And
And he's had the lull after losing the title, and then so that's a nice ramp back up.
break down to
into-
build back up. Yeah,
Right.
no classic stuff. All right, let's go to the line then. Is that the only one you have?
Yeah, it's the only one I got, and
Okay.
more gay shit.
And more. Hey, hold on. More gay shit. Okay. I can't wait to read that one in a year. Okay. Facade, how about you? You got a prediction?
Come back to me.
Okay. Or Eamon.
Okay, I got 3.
Ooh.
Okay.
Big spender.
A big spender.
Hey, I should charge you in Mayhem currency for these.
I don't know how that works. Anyway,
Mayhem coins. You were around for that era.
sure.
He was but a wee lad back then.
First one, a very bold, I know, kind of cutting edge, no one would expect prediction. I have a feeling that the WWE's run on Netflix, their live streaming of Raw, especially on the premiere of Raw, will not go off seamlessly. I think there might be some buffering issues. And I think some people might be really mad about it.
As somebody very familiar with buffering issues. I disagree, but I see you. Well, you want to take a 10 bot?
It's not like I'm going based off a track record or anything.
Yeah. A 10 bot bet on that one.
Look, it is perfectly fine to have your feed go down. Everyone, it happens to every streaming.
I don't even know if we're streaming right now, honestly.
Not like you're like the biggest platform on earth, whatever. So the second one, so obviously a lot of continued improvement for women's wrestling.
What are
happened.
you pointing at?
I don't know. I'm just
pointing
gesturing
at yourself.
No,
on the
I'm
screen?
gesturing forward.
He doesn't even when we're not doing cameras on our podcast.
Point at the camera.
It's not even
important.
WrestleMania scene. At least point at the Christmas tree. Look at that.
Projecting into the future.
So.
If you could see into the future.
I feel so
Women's
bad.
wrestling has made great improvements, and we are seeing.
Don't point at me.
We are seeing. Yes, you have done it, Sorg.
I didn't do this.
We've seen the introduction of women's United States and Intercontinental titles.
Yes.
By the end of this year, I think
I can't wait for the women's 24/7 title.
Yeah, it should be great. My prediction, because progress is slow, excluding WrestleMania and SummerSlam this year, because it's going to be 2 nights. Excluding those 2 pay-per-views, we are not going to have a single defense of either one of those titles on a premium live event.
That's
because that is something I am
bold,
genuinely
but
worried about when they announced in the first place.
Yeah, that is bold
and we just complimented how we like 3-hour pay-per-views, 5-match shows, pretty good. I just don't see how they fill it beyond.
Now,
that.
does that include? Well, that's true because they got rid of any of the pre-show matches.
Correct. Like if
So,
in
if
an
there was a pre-show,
era
it'd
of
be different.
pre-show matches, I would probably say.
But that's not excluding other women's titles. It's just those 2.
Yes.
Yeah. The
They'll probably
secondary
do some
titles.
tag stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Third, and based off of the predictions from a lot of people, it kind of goes off of that. There was recently a story that came out from like some inside report. I think it might have been Sean Ross Sapp or whatever.
You're reading them sheets again?
I am.
You dirty sheet reader.
That everyone backstage loves CM Punk. He's working so well with everybody. He's very collaborative. Sure. I think it's all bull. And I think we are going to get some leaked story about some fight that he has in the next year, because a tiger never changes his stripes.
Punk being problematic backstage? Oh, I've never heard of such a thing. No, doesn't happen.
It's too nice. I don't know who's going to start it off, but someone's going to start it off with him.
They're going to blame it on the doc again?
And Triple H is going to finish it. That's good. I've been thinking about that because I felt like he made a comment about movesets in that interview from Saturday Night's Main Event the other night. You know, it's just like, if you say movesets as a wrestler, you're a fucking mark and shouldn't be doing this. So, like, it was like something.
You're
along
still
those
in
comments.
there. You're still in there.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, oh, I remembered this CM Punk.
I'm sorry. Why did you get into wrestling? Oh, because you're a mark. Everyone in wrestling's a mark. Get over it. Like,
Facade, how's your moveset?
All right, so I think
he's really pondering this.
I don't know. I think too much. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Ring of Honor will get TV.
Okay.
I think we will see Shane McMahon in a company, which is kind of something that people already think. I don't think CM Punk's favor will come into play this year. I think this will not. I think that's a slow burn angle, if you will, that we'll see come into play more so next year, because I think this year's Royal Rumble, but WrestleMania will be polluted with high caliber talent that the title he's looking for is not the one that he's going to have a chance at. So
these are not the belts you're looking for.
That's exactly what I was trying to say, but I already said it. So
I got you. I like it. Partner.
Okay, so handling it from different companies, we will see the Ring of Honor male champion on AEW an awful lot, but we will not see the Ring of Honor female champion on AEW TV at all. And
wait, what was that again?
Well, we will see the Ring of Honor male champion on AEW TV, just like we're seeing Jericho now. We'll continue to see who, if he keeps it, we'll see him on Dynamite and different AEW show. We will not see the Ring of Honor women's champion, as we have not seen the Ring of Honor women's champion on AEW.
That's true. She's been champion. Athena's been champion for 2 years.
Yeah, I don't think she had like a six person match. Like, it had to been like a year ago.
Yeah. It's been a while since she's been on.
A not a one-on-one, not a world title match, which they've had Ring of Honor male world title holders.
Sure.
she actually wrestled Daniel Mo on Rampage while she was Ring of Honor champion, but that was 2 years ago. Honestly, it was November 22. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably the last TV match, but that wasn't for the title though.
No. But it's also 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We will have in WWE someone who was recently with AEW, not being world champion, but being either IC or US champ.
I see the hand. No gang signs. No gang signs.
Exactly.
Are you saying that person or somebody?
Probably that person, but it could be someone else. But again, I think that's part of...
Which championship did you say in general?
A champion the secondary, one of the secondaries. And to go off of Merlin saying more gay shit, I will say more gay piss.
Well, yes.
And vinegar.
I'm going to be so confused in a year when I read this back.
More gay piss and vinegar.
So pickling now.
Yeah.
Do I write this down?
No.
Yeah, no,
I mean, you
write
could.
it down.
I wrote it down.
Write it down.
And,
write it down. Don't put it in a search bar.
No. Okay. But also, let me just say one last thing. Nyla will continue to be the most entertaining person who's rarely on TV.
Has she made the move to Blue Sky yet? Or is she still?
I think she's on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Good,
and also have probably one of the best thirst traps on social media. Also,
I mean, that's not surprising.
What's that?
her thirst traps.
Oh, yeah, I saw
are next level. Yes.
I mean,
Not like your thirst traps that you showed me earlier.
Like,
Oh wait, I'm sorry. That's supposed to be for Patreon.
more gay piss.
I'm learning so much. Riz.
Okay, so first thing for WWE, I believe that this next year, the majority of pay-per-views or PLEs, whatever they're
I'm writing
A B C D E F Gs.
pay-per-views, LMNOPs, they will be, the majority of them will be out of country.
We have at least 2 Canadian ones.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yep.
Coming up.
And we got 2 Canadian ones. We have a couple. We kind of have a couple coming up with Saudi Arabia.
We know of 3 in the States right now.
Yep. I think that's all we're gonna get.
SummerSlam, Rumble, and Mania.
I think that's all we're gonna get.
Yeah.
We'll probably get some sort of clash, or I think they'll do maybe another German.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like-
for sure. They did great there. So
So we have
You
those.
don't break a record and not come back.
Right.
Yeah.
For AEW, I feel like they are not only going to sign Matt Cardona, they're once the contract is up, they will also get Chelsea Green. Juicy, I know. And third,
I highly disagree on that one.
you'll
The silence.
It's unanimous.
She is. I think she gets sacks of money from WWE.
The
she is
hush
fucking.
that fell over the studio. when
She
you
is
said
fucking
that.
just give me
priceless.
And he
just
will
wait.
too.
Just give me the point.
Okay.
Just give me the point. And third, Vincent Kennedy McMahon will have his own company.
Wrestling?
Wrestling.
I think it will try.
Honestly, that wouldn't surprise me.
Because I heard he's getting into other things.
Well, he tried that before too. It
Yeah,
didn't work
that's
that well.
that's why he's not in this company anymore.
I forget what it was, but he was like exploring some other like some other sports-ish company. I thought.
Sports company. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so like he was like
Not-
trying
not
to put something
into-
together.
New XFL 3.0.
How's that going, Dwayne?
Hey, it's coming. Spring 2025. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Big Dwayne energy.
UFL.
Okay, pal. Who has Super Bowl this year? Are we gonna get another Bikini Bottom Super Bowl? Because I was down with that.
I don't know if that's a wrestling prediction.
That's no. I'm just curious. I'm just.
I wonder if they're gonna do like what they did
like
with
the Disney one. Are we gonna get a Simpsons Super Bowl?
The Simpsons
That'd
Super
be
Bowl.
cool.
I
want to
like
see
a Duff Bowl.
I want to watch the Disney NBA game. I don't
Like-
give a shit about basketball, but I want to watch the Disney NBA game
Like remember
on the
back,
Christmas.
Remember back in the day, like I think it was like when the Steelers won the Super Bowl, like in the '90s. The
Allegedly.
Simpsons did like the Duff Bowl, where it was just
Oh yeah.
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 I went
it was like
that.
it was like when we were doing halftime heat and stuff,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes. Sorg.
Or like those NBA All-Star games that they had this year with the light up ground. It was like the Rock and Jock from
What?
the 90s. Oh my god.
I didn't see those.
I didn't. Apparently it's been happening, but they have celebrities. I saw it this year for the first time, but it's been happening for years. And they have the like light up spots. Like Ruffles was sponsoring light up 3-point spot or 10-point spots. It was insane.
I like that. Say
Light up floor.
Who was it that
Yes.
was doing the commentators that were characters from SpongeBob or something?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they did that for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
We watched the whole thing.
Wild.
Yeah, it was so
Okay.
much fun.
This year's Super Bowl will be hosted by Fox.
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 What do they have left?
So Simpsons. Yeah.
I don't know if they have the
Simpsons-
resources for that.
No, Simpsons is owned by Disney.
It's owned by It's owned by Disney, but they show it on Fox, so there could be a relationship there. Honestly,
Fox doesn't have a
So-
streaming service.
yeah. So
Fox doesn't have a streaming service. So
they
the
don't have a
Fox
streaming
con-
service.
So the Fox content is on.
It's on Hulu. Yeah.
On Hulu.
It's on Hulu,
Which is Disney.
which is Disney, they could have an agreement. Like, absolutely. So I hope they do, because I feel like that was so much fun last year when they did that.
Yeah.
You know, because they actually had face. God, this is Awesome Cast now. We talked about it on Awesome Cast. They literally had things that came out, and they had iPhones in front of them, because you know how you do the face track, like the Face ID thing. So it tracked the face, and that's how they imprinted the movements, because they had 3D SpongeBob and Patrick's that were moving and reacting as they were moving and reacting, like a 1-to-1, like, you know, like a facial tracking you see in the movies.
Yeah.
But obviously very dumbed down because it was an iPhone, but still enough to do that. That's all they had was iPhones. Like,
Yeah.
this is a fucking NFL production.
Wow.
And they're using iPhones, right? Like, this is
That
like,
also just goes to show the tech nowadays.
yeah.
on
So
the-
don't tell me you don't have shit to edit your own fucking promo, guys.
It's in your pocket.
It's in your pocket.
No,
even,
not that one. The other one.
Yeah, even a phone from, like, if you have a phone from the last 5 years, I don't want to fucking hear it. So anyway, sorry. Is there anybody else? Anything else? Did I miss anything? Ponder, you look like you're about to say something.
No, I was double checking chat and see if
Okay,
anyone put
we'll get to
anything
them
there,
too.
so,
We'll get to
yeah.
them too.
Sorg,
I only wrote
what is your
down one prediction, but it may roll into something else. WWE will announce Peacock. They have one more year on the Peacock deal. They've already expressed interest on leaving Peacock or exploring other places. I do not think Peacock will pick up WWE again for any price.
No.
I don't
No,
think
no.
Peacock is talking about selling off their cable channel, or NBC, Universal, Comcast, whatever, is talking about selling off their cable networks like USA Network. I think there's an interesting thing happening in streaming right now. I think it makes complete sense, and especially if they are successful here in the first few months here, I think Netflix, just like literally in the rest of the world, Netflix will acquire the rest of the rights to WWE that are not locked up by TV deals. So that means I think your PLEs are going to move to Netflix in 2026. And I'm going to say this is a prediction of 2025 because they'll obviously have the announcement, as if we knew about Netflix like, 8 months ago at this point. So that I believe WWE wholly, as much as they can in the States, will be going to Netflix. So, and honestly, and beyond that, I really think that Netflix is going to acquire the rest of it in due time. So
I concur.
I think that the Max deal with AEW, I don't know what to predict around it. I think it's going to go well for them. Is that a prediction? You know, I don't know. I think that I've been really kind of considering what's going to happen to Honor Club. Right. If Ring of Honor gets a TV deal, is Honor Club still a thing? I'm also not clear on what's happening with that back catalog with AEW. I still think there's a play there, but I think it's better off for them if they go somewhere else. But I don't know. Maybe they need to do a WWE Network play for a while to get something to sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, but
Won't that be included in Max? I think they kind of.
did they say so?
Yeah.
Is that confirmed?
Well,
so
I don't. Well, the thing is that there's so much history there that they need somewhere that has the bandwidth to be able to handle all of that content.
Well, Triller TV has all of it,
Well-
not in the United States.
Okay, well then that's just a line of code to give
I
access.
I know. So I don't know. Is there a place for the United States currently?
Well, apparently, in order for that to happen in the U.S., you have to turn off airplane
Sword,
mode.
if you just turn off airplane mode.
My phone, okay, Googled for some
Okay.
spooky. Sorry.
Well, I don't
You
know
just
where
turn
I
off
was.
airplane mode and it'll be fine.
Turn off airplane mode. Please turn it off. Hey, listen, please put your seat backs and tray tables in their upright positions because we're about to land this fucking podcast. Okay. I know I'm working through my prediction right now. I think Ring of Honor. Because I guess you have the pay-per-views on Honor Club right now, right? Which I love that they did that because it was like, okay, that's easy. It's $10. I'm already paying for it.
And like once they show value within their
Yeah.
with Max, everything, and then they get that TV deal. Then I think will be absorbed into that too. And it'll be like a secondary, like how WWE had this buttload of stuff that they used to have from the WWE network.
Yeah.
But then whenever they went to 24/7, they kind of drip fed us all the sweet stuff,
So you got a couple things happening. This is going to be a general just analysis. That's what's happening right now. So I'm seeing a couple things happening in this space. And sorry, I look at streaming technology all the time when it comes to these things. Because you have the WWE move happening, right? And there's already been the pay-per-views are going to go there. The WWE back content is going to go there for the pay-per-views. But they're not interested in putting Smoky Mountain Wrestling on there.
Yeah, this was reported, I think, right?
Yeah, this is reported. So, and you're seeing that WWE Vault we're gonna get re-drip fed.
Yes.
All of that content.
So do you
again?
Do you think they're gonna do the full WWE pay-per-view library on Netflix?
Yes, that's confirmed.
Okay.
Internationally, that's confirmed.
Gotcha.
So here's the thing: get a VPN, go look at what's happening on Netflix on January 6th.
Right.
And that'll give you the read. And actually, if you do it now, there are placeholders. We were sharing some of it in the Facebook group for this. And some people have been sharing it on Twitter or something, or I don't know, some Twitter-like device. I don't remember where I was. It all looks
Was
the
it
same.
the birds or was it the butterflies? We don't know.
I literally go through and I start talking with people, and I can't tell you if I'm on Blue Sky or Threads anymore. And I was like, oh, I'm on this. I should go check the other one. I just kind of go across up. Like, it was great because now I have multiple algorithms giving me different stuff from the same people, so I get different flavors of things. But anyways, so you do have, like, you can find the pay-per-views. You can find, like, Great Balls of Fire, things like that.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. I forget which one I shared. But so you have that. So they're getting that, and they have all this stuff. And I think your WWE Network is going to. I think the YouTube is going to be WWE Network, like, deep cuts. We were watching. Saturday Night's Main Event just dropped a bunch of those on there, right? But it's all going to be contextual to whatever they want to throw back to, like hey, we're doing Saturday Night Main Event again, right? Hey, this person's coming out.
Like, wasn't the first thing they showed a Punjabi prison match?
I think it was something like that. So I guess that is my official prediction. YouTube will become a de facto WWE network. So they did this before, they rolled back on it, and they're doing it again. Because they had a bunch of that shit out there already. Then they did WWE Network and rolled it back in. Right? And here and there just did a lot of free matches through the years.
Well, now all they have to do is just re-hit the toggle back to share.
It's not that easy.
No, I know.
It's not that easy. You got to take the stuff. I have a feeling I'm about to get a lot of feedback from somebody when we go to Patreon about this, by the way. I don't know. I feel something. I feel some rumblings from Stamford, Connecticut. Some vibes. I can feel it all the way down here in Pittsburgh.
Don't get mad.
What's that?
Don't get mad.
Are you
mad?
mad? But them or me? Yeah, okay. We'll find out here when we get to
mad,
Patreon.
Mike, okay?
Yes.
Who? Don't know who that is.
Mike Sorg.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get mad.
Yes.
I just know him as
Mike
Sorg.
Obviously, I'm the real mad one here. So yeah, I think that's enough for that. So hey, you know what? Who's feeding this pizza party other than intern John? It's Vice on Broadway. Thank you so much for supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizzas. Good. Everybody's literally getting up to go get pizza right now. So I love this stuff. There you go. There you go. There we doubled up on them tonight.
We gotta save for the Mayhem Mania.
Hold on.
Game.
What's that? What's that?
I say for the top empty box, we gotta save that for the Mayhem Mania home
yes,
game.
Yeah, Mayhem Mania home game coming soon, and everything. So Slice on Broadway, supporting your wrestle pizzas. There you go. There you go. Look at that. Look at that roll through. Look at that pizza drive by right there. There he is. There he is. Don't kick the box, man. You're a bad influence, partner. Anyways, thank you so much, those guys, for supporting the show. I don't have anything for this segment for the send-off, although we've gone long enough.
Did you check chat for any predictions from chat?
Chat for prediction. Thank you so much. I almost forgot. Sorry about that, guys. So much happening here.
We don't forget about you, Shafi.
Let's see what's happening. Intern John suggests that the University of Pittsburgh acquire the Ring of Honor catalog.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. Tina has predictions. Half kidding. Lucha Underground rivalry be renewed in WWE. Jordan Grace will hold a WWE Women's mid-card title. I'm glossing over these. I'm sorry. I thought this was one thing. Jordan Grace will hold a WWE Women's mid-card title to start, and more WWE stars will expand their independent promotions appearances. Okay.
I think that
Now
sounds
the question
reasonable.
is-
All that sounds reasonable, actually.
The question is, who will have the first rivalry?
Mm-hmm.
Will it be Reclusa?
Mm-hmm. I love someone's like Reclusa versus Pentagon's gonna happen again, and it's like yes, Chelsea versus Pentagon's gonna completely happen on WWE. I was disappointed that
Is that before or after she leaves to go to?
I was really disappointed that a 6-person match this past weekend was a mixed tag, by the way. But I don't know. True Princes, Matt's predictions for 2025. Braun Breaker will win the King of the Ring. Ooh. Big Boom AJ will have a match against MJF on an AEW pay-per-view.
That's pretty.
I could see that happen. And Kenny Omega will win the G1. Damn.
Ooh, I can see it.
Yeah? Okay. I predicted we're all going to get very tired watching Wrestle Kingdom in the middle of the night. I was so mad. Well, not mad, but I was just like, so my wife just came back from the San Jose, where was it? Long Beach, California. She's in California for New Japan.
It's all the same thing.
And now she's on her way back to California. I'm like, you're going to be in California. You're going to be on Tina time for Wrestle Kingdom at 11 p.m. Like, you could actually watch some of it and not pass out. You're not, kind of thing. So I was a little jealous of that because it's going to be 2 a.m. for us to start here. So, by the way, Wrestle Kingdom slumber party at the studio. Anybody interested? What's that?
I'll be in bed.
It's going to be a weekend, Riz. We can have a Wrestle Kingdom party. It's
in bed.
Friday. It's Saturday morning and Sunday morning. It's fine.
Look,
you'll have Sunday to recover.
I like wrestling as much as anybody.
It's the
But,
time to do it. We only do this once a year.
But
listen, we wait up for Santa and then fall asleep and he comes with the presents, or we wait for for Tanahashi to come down our chimney and forget his clothes again, because apparently that's what happens according to that one commercial. And I don't know what happens after that. That's for your imagination. But moving on.
He gets high five flow on you.
What's that?
He has the high fly flow.
He has the high fly flow.
In your sleep.
And you just wake up chanting Ace. Clifford predicts that the Neon Blondes will be signed to WWE.
Woo.
There you go. Get that ID mark, bro. And make it happen.
I think there's some contingent for that.
I'm just reading chat right now. Tina says Sonic 3 was fast-paced and enjoyable for those that are going to see it. I'm going to go see it this weekend. There you go. I love the posters that they're doing. Yeah. I feel like, oh, wait, I'm rolling in the Patreon. So, anyways, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Neon Blonde. We didn't even talk about JCW. Man.
Yo, come to Come to JCW this Thursday.
Yes.
In Michigan, Detroit. It's a charity show where
it's free.
Yeah, free. You donate a toy or a jacket. There's a list of items you could bring. And you can also catch it on the JCW Psychopathic YouTube if you can't make it to Detroit. And also on the 21st, I think that's Saturday.
Yes.
Big Ballas, JCW, ICP, Ouija Mac.
Yes.
All kinds of bodacious, wicked shit.
Awesome. That's so cool. You're in that
Columbus.
Group. Did the rest of the tour go good?
Yes.
Did Willie Mack wake up?
Yes, Willie Mack. Willie Mack has some impeccable sleeping ability where he can sleep and then he was amazing, and like I shake him and I try to like wake him up and it doesn't work. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Like he went like this, and then like I was just minding my business talking to Mosh Pit Mike, and he just threw his vape at me. I'm like, oh, like he just like what the hell? Like what was that? And then I'm like here, bro. Oh, he's dead. So many silly stories.
Amazing. Maybe we'll hear some of them here on Patreon here. Thank you guys so much. It's been a great holiday. I think there's going to be, I'm still trying to get some scheduling in, but I believe there's going to be something special for you guys on New Year's Eve. Keep an eye out for the feed for that. Maybe a New Year's Eve thing. I had something we've been pontificating. So keep an eye out. There'll hopefully be some content here over the holidays. What?
I love pontification.
Pontification. Thank you guys so much. Gay and his NB podcast on the Sorgatron Media Network and your fine podcast places out there. Please go check that out for all your reality show conversations. Dave Potter has the iPhoneography podcast he's a part of. Riz plays games on Twitch.
Yes.
And, of course, Facade. I'm at Sorgatron on all these social medias that are fit to be on Even Plurk. Again, you can see my adventures again, 880 Wrestling this Thursday and Friday shows. And I guess over the weekend, I will also be in attendance somewhere doing something, probably pushing buttons and Enjoy Wrestling, which is, I believe, the 28th.
That's my birthday!
Happy birthday! Yay! At Mr. Small's Theater. I don't know, I'll be hanging out at the WWE holiday show probably at the arena too. So, hey, why the fuck not, right?
Day before the 27th, right?
Yeah, day before. I love the couple days of wrestling there. So, and then of course we'll be back next year on the first Tuesday for more Wrestling Mayhem show. Got some ideas? You might want to tune in. So we'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out. Mayhem out. Mayhem out. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.